Namaste, my friends. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. Let everyone be happy. Sarve Santu Niramaya. Let everyone be healthy. Sarve Santu Niramaya. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Let everyone be blessed. Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhave. Let none suffer from misery in the world. Do we have this thought, attitude, feeling 24 by 7? I say that the mind is pure. And when the mind is pure, it takes us to the journey of understanding the life of beatitude, the life of permanent peace, life of happiness, life of love and wisdom. So, this is an answer why we are learning Eastern wisdom. And you have been a great seeker. The focus remained. Sometime we fall back. There may be failures or frustration, but we return back. So that focus is still with you. Why we are learning this Eastern wisdom? Because it deals with me, you. It deals with you, your nature, your problems, your challenges that you face day to day in life. Because Eastern wisdom makes you the most important to yourself. Why? Because you say, I love peace, and so peace is your nature. And when, if it is your essential nature, so your mind says, I must have it, I must experience it. Not only I must experience, but I should live, think, speak in love, peace, happiness. And what is the opposite of it? Hate, fear, insecurity, failure, anger, hesitation. That is why we are learning the Eastern wisdom. So, understanding, the moment I use the word understanding the journey of the life, we are a human being. Human being has an intellect, a higher level of self-awareness. Unlike animals, they live at the lower level of the self-awareness. Can you communicate with a tiger? Choose your different food. We have a choice, unlike the tiger. So that comes by the intellect. And we all have an intellect. Intellect is always available. We use it or we don't use it. Someone is nasty to you, you have an option to be nasty to him and her, or withdraw yourself. You have chosen peace, you understand the situation, take the right decision, you are still in peace. out of 8.4 million species, Eastern wisdom has recognized only the human being has an intellect, and if we allow the intellect to be available in thinking, in speaking, in acting, in personal, professional, social lives, the life becomes better. Eastern wisdom and even common sense says that we can recognize the problem and can find a solution. That is what has happened to the science, biology, medicine, astronomy, huh? Name anything, geology. They started with a problem. They did the experiment. Then they have an application, gadgets, to understand the world phenomena in the. But what happens when I'm in anxiety? I continue to remain in anxiety. I don't see it as a problem and I don't see there is a solution. Why? Because the mind dictates over the intellect, then the intellect becomes absent in our life. We cannot observe, we cannot analyze, we cannot make a choice. You are a seeker. We are moving ahead. When you are the highest level of a seeker, only the knowledge and understanding is required. Now, see, there is a confusion. You have a confusion where your house is located, which car you own, which profession you have, which gender you have. We don't have clarity. We have a clarity. There is no confusion at all. But in matters of fear, anxiety, insecurity, hate, and love, we claim we understand, still we continue to live with them. It is our common experience. If I hate someone, that hatred continues in my thought, in my feeling all the time. And I also claim I understand why I hate this guy, but I don't recognize keeping that thought, feeling, and images of hatred is causing more problem to me. So there is a sense of confusion. Do you see that? We claim we understand others, we fall prey to challenges causing fear, insecurity, anger, and hesitation. This is a confusion. So we may claim that we recognize the problem, and still we have a confusion. And that confusion and the conflicts, if it is present in the mind, it hides behind the mask, what we call the personality. We have to remove this confusion. There and then, instant action, spontaneous action. And that spontaneity comes when we follow the path of Eastern wisdom. So, Eastern wisdom is an instrument of knowledge to know who am I and what I am not. And I made it again and again clear, think and repeat, contemplate and reflect on this. Do you love peace? Yes, I love peace. Your instant answer. So if you really love peace, peace is your nature. So that becomes the beginning, starting point to know who am I? Am I love? Am I peace? Am I happiness? So this is the question. Question is a problem. We have to find a solution. And this solution can only be found on the path of Eastern wisdom because biology does not tell you who you are. Biology tells you what is your physiology, biochemistry, neurosciences, what is your what is the problem, what illnesses you, but it still does not tell you who you are. No science can tell me who am I. So we should learn. That is what we are learning. So now, once you are clear that I have a sort of confusion because why my mind goes to the disliking, fear, anger, hesitation, even when I claim that I have understood it. So the Eastern wisdom keeps the goal. What, who am I? I must know it. I must treat the path by understanding who am I, what is this world, what is the existence, and then remove all the confusion so that the fear, insecurity, anger, and hesitation all comes to an end. So there are many ways, we can talk of yoga, tantra, mantra, meditation, mindfulness, and long list. All are included into, they are part of the Eastern wisdom. So you have a problem regarding physics means I'm ignorant about physics. So I should put the knowledge of the physics in the mind which claims that I'm ignorant about physics. So I get it. Same thing. Who am I? I'm totally ignorant about it. I should put the knowledge. I have a clear understanding based on the principles of Eastern wisdom. So it means if I'm ignorant about physics, for example, or ignorant about landscaping, so I should put the knowledge here about the landscaping so that I should remove the ignorance. Ignorance causes the confusion. Are you clear? Yes. So in Eastern wisdom says that am I really interested in who you are? You are becoming a great seeker that is going to transform your entire life. So we use the term seeker. I'm interested, I'm committed, I'm dedicated, I will continue to treat the path, but we need certain qualifications to become a seeker. What I want freedom, self fulfillment. I keep this idea, this notion, this goal in my mind. I want to experience and enjoy the freedom, the self fulfillment in my daily life. Self fulfillment in my daily life from moment to moment. I don't want to continue doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So, to summarize the entire journey, first, I'm a person, I'm interested, I'm committed. I start the path becoming a seeker. When I become a seeker, then I start inquiring the challenges, past impressions that I have in my daily life. So that process is known as Tattva Viveka. Tattva means the real self. For example, just for the until now, you should take it. Tattva, real self, Viveka, discernment, using the intellect to filter out what causes the confusion, drop it, dissolve it. What is left is your real self. Do you love peace? Yes, peace is your nature, it is your real self. Do you love happiness? Yes, happiness is my nature. That your nature is real self. Can I start thinking in that way? From moment to moment. The moment we wake up until we retire to the bed. Because if we fall into deep sleep, it gives me the same peace and happiness. When I wake up, I say, oh, I had a sound sleep. And what happens? When you do the inquiry, you filter out, remove the confusion. What is left is the real self that is known as the Tattva Bodha. Now I'm aware of my real nature. So when I'm aware of the real nature, that leads to awakening, liberation, freedom, mukti, nirvana. We may talk of lot of words. More or less, they convey the same understanding. So let us start now. We have already started Viveka, the first qualification. In English, it is known as discernment. We are human beings. Intellect is available to us. So we start the first step. We understand we are neither a machine nor animals. Through the intellect, we understand. So if we are a machine, it is pre programmed, does not have an emotion and the feeling, cannot be a thinker. Animals are also programmed, even you say that they are intelligent. They follow the set path created by the nature. Tiger remains the tiger throughout his life. Fox remains the fox, but we can change. Intellect. So here comes the most beautiful point. As a seeker, you are convinced, you have a clarity that following this path will one day awaken me to my true nature. So there is a sense of conviction. That's why you have been continuing the journey. And you have your own experiences. You have changed a lot. You have become a wonderful human being. You feel you have become a wonderful human being to yourself. Don't you realize over these weeks and the months, internally, when you check yourself, am I a good human being to myself? Forget about others. Huh? The modern life demands to pose that you are a good human being to you are a good human being, and that creates a conflict and confusion. I'm not inside, but I'm outside, and that continues, builds your ego. Ego causes fear and anxiety and insecurity. It destroys ourselves. But by following the path of the Eastern wisdom, we understand that I am good to myself. Why? I'm constantly reminding and knowing that peace is my nature. So I don't want any kind of hatred, anxiety, duality, conflict, fear, frustration. I have to filter it out. First, I have to become a good human being to myself. We need an intellect. another part that we need to understand why we say that we have to become a seeker. Because we cannot force any human being. We cannot. So, reverse this. Until this intellect has a clarity, conviction, inspiration coming from within, you become a seeker, and the seeker always succeeds on the path. And for that, we need an intellect. What do you mean by intellect? We think. We think in line with the principles of Eastern wisdom. When we start thinking after learning and listening these principles, we start what is known as viveka, discernment. When we think, we find we are fearless or fearful. We think we feel secure or insecure. We think we are anxious or not. We think, is there a permanent peace or happiness or simply a pleasure? So now you have found out the problem in this solution. You also think, what makes me complete? Look at our dear friend Bill Gates. He is the richest guy. Is he feeling the sense of completeness? No. He said he lived loveless life for 27 years, having won $27 billion. Eastern wisdom says, do you have that sense of self-fulfillment inside? Do you feel that you are a good person inside? To yourself. Forget about others. When you are good to yourself, you are good to everyone. So he lived a loveless life. Did he feel the sense of completeness, self fulfillment? No. But why? He is searching someone else to have a loveful life. And that is what majority of the people are doing. I'm not happy with you, so I'll be happy with you. So I leave you in pain to the other guy and to myself. To remove that pain, I'm searching another person, another object in the world. Here comes the viveka, the discernment. What the viveka says, should I ask a question to my mind through the intellect? Oh, my mind. You lived a loveless life with one person. This is an example that you can apply to everyone, anyone. Okay, I lived a loveless life with one person. Can another person will give me a loveful life? Or one option. Second, should I discover what exactly is the love? Is this love within me? Is love is my nature? The moment you say love is your nature, means you love Viveka. Only we need an understanding, clarity. So when I, as a person, frustrated, fearful, lived a life of frustration with another person, do I realize that a happiness and love is not present outside? Viveka, discernment. Now you are the highest seeker, so you have to start thinking and bring clarity in your intellect so that the mind becomes pure and you start living a life of peace. Yeah, we'll continue with the practice also, no doubt. So, my friend, that is why we say learning and listening from a teacher is the first step. But the seeker always starts thinking after learning and listening to find out what is the real self, where it is located, and how to filter out, drop the confusion and the conflict in my head. Thinking here means that we are thinking in line with the principles. I want to know the physics. I have to think in line with the physics, principles of physics. I want to make a tea. I have to start thinking in line with the tea, the water, the gas, boiling, mixing, the sugar, and the simple way. So, because we have not done the thinking to find the real, so that is why we are learning this Eastern wisdom. Not a big deal. So, here comes another caveat in this journey. We do the inquiry, simple inquiry. Where is your house? I don't know. I'm totally ignorant about it. There is no confusion. I'm ignorant. Simple inquiry. So you give me your address and I find the address and I reach to your house. But what about the inquiry about myself? I have lot of confusion. Sometime I get upset, sometime I receive a pleasure which I claim it is happiness. Sometime I am happy over my son at one movement and the next day I become unhappy. So there is a kind of confusion. Almost in all the matters of life. One day I'm happy with my daughter, other day I'm unhappy. One day I respond to my son, and other day I react to my son. Problem here, confusion here. So there's a mixture. So to do the simple inquiry, when I'm totally ignorant about a thing or a person, I have no problem. You pass on the information, I get the knowledge from the Google, and then it is done. But in matters of self inquiry, we have confusion. Just I told you. I see a person, I become happy. I see the same person the next day, I'm unhappy. It may be my brother, my sister, my dear and dear near ones, my son, my friend, my customer, my client, etc. So, why this confusion is? How to remove that confusion? How to remove that confusion? That is why in inquiry, self inquiry, we add viveka, discernment. Viveka means we are separating, filtering out all the conflict and confusion. And then what is left is my real self. So, simple inquiry, you gain the knowledge and you're happy. But self inquiry, we have to do it with viveka. First condition of the viveka, the intellect should be available. Second, you know the principles of Eastern wisdom. Third, you inquire about your real self in line with the principles of Eastern wisdom. Take one example. I have been repeatedly saying that your real self, my real self, is one. That real self is all pervading. That real self is of the nature of permanent peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. There is no trace of ignorance, hesitation, fear, uh, insecurity, anger, hesitation, etc., there. It is untouched, like the space is untouched, not affected by you build a skyscraper and you demolish. Space. So we start our inquiry based on this premise. So when we start thinking, discerning, doing viveka in line with these principles at any moment in your life, you are at your workplace, you are at your home, you are cooking something. My intellect is make your intellect available. Saying, I'm the real self. Peace is, do I love peace? Peace is my nature. Do I love happiness? Happiness is, do I love? To survive, existence is my nature. I am the existence. That is why I love to survive. And that love to survive is present in every living being, from ant to elephant. Do you see that? They cannot make a choice. We can make a choice. That is why self inquiry with Viveka. Let us deal directly with the Viveka today. So, inquiry with the Viveka means Viveka simply means separating to resolve the confusion. This confusion is delusion. It is known as impurity of the mind. It is known as Maya. It is known as lack of focus. A lot of words are used. This viveka or the discernment means cognitive ability and capacity. What is cognition? The mental action or process of acquiring knowledge and understanding through thoughts, experience, and senses. It is perception, it is awareness, it is learning, it is insight, it is reasoning, it is thinking. Pick up any word that you like and it you will follow the path of Vivek. Another thing, you want to buy a car, it is hanging on in the dealer shop. You have to go there, acquire it, buy it, purchase it, lease it, whatever it is. But I want to know my real self. Where is real self located? Here and now. While you are listening to me, are you aware of it? It is here and now. It is available. It is, even if it is available, I don't see it. Why I don't see it? Because there is a veil of confusion where it is located in the mind. So when I remove that veil of confusion here and now, it is available. Great master used to say that knowledge is always available if you are open to it. There is a fish market, you don't see it, but you pass through a street, next street, where you feel the smell of a fish. You know there is a fish market. The same way, there is something obstructing. Confusion is there. I don't recognize the real self. Everything is available to me. So, Eastern wisdom removes that sense of the confusion through the Viveka. So, now see the where lies the confusion? Wealth. make me happy. Wealth can regulate my life, having clothes, basic necessities of the life, house, car, etc., etc. Which statement is really true? So that will help us to understand the confusion and the clarity. Does the dollar bill contains the stamp of happiness? And you know very well, no. I have given an added value to the wealth, that this wealth can provide me happiness, peace, love, wisdom. Not possible. Bill Gates would have been the happiest person in the world, not living loveless life for 27 years. Viveka, I'm focusing in today's lesson on Viveka. I allow the intellect to be available 24 by 7. You look at your son, mind triggers the emotion. Why? Confusion. Allow the intellect to be available. The person outside who is your son cannot lead you to the ultimate happiness because he is not living in happiness. How you can? What should I do? That is what we are learning. To remove the confusion, we have to make adjustment through the intellect. And when you make adjustment, you filter out the elements of the confusion and the delusion. You are free. You can deal in peace, happiness, love, kindness to your son, to your daughter, to yourself. So, first thing is to, through the intellect, you reflect wealth, possession, any a person, any object outside do not carry or contain the stamp of peace, happiness, love, wisdom, and also the existence. They do not continue to exist forever. I have to remove that confusion from my mind. It does not mean that I should leave the wealth, I should leave my relationship. I'm living outside, I'm living as it is, but internally I have removed that confusion. I have not given an added value to any object, person outside. What is added value? That they carry peace and happiness for me. Why? They do not carry. I love peace. Peace is my nature. That is within me. Happiness is within me. Love is within me. Truth is within me. Existence is within me. Make a choice. Filter it out. First, you separate wealth for security or insecurity, wealth for peace or not. Wealth is to fulfill the basic necessities of your life, any amount of wealth. You have $127 billion. You can buy a yacht, you can buy a mansion, you have the resources, you buy it, and still happiness is not there. Don't put a stamp of happiness on the wealth, on your car, on your house, on your brother, on your sister, on your son, on your daughter. It will frustrate you. It will cause fear. It will cause insecurity. How we are understanding through the power of viveka, self inquiry. Self inquiry. So once we have understood to apply the Viveka in our daily life, now we go little deeper. What is that deeper? So, okay, you talk always about real self. So, is there a false self? Yes. So, how to know what is real self and what is false self? Our masters gave one beautiful example. Sweetness of a sugar is the real self, and the outer shape, size, color of the sugar varies from one thing to the other is the false self. You have an ice cream bar. Shape, size, color are different. What is the essential nature? Ice cream without sweetness doesn't make any sense, though. Now, sugar has become sweetness. The sugar has become the ice cream. Sugar has become the dessert. Why sugar? Sweetness. Can you get rid of the sweetness of a sugar? No. Can you get rid of the permanent peace, happiness, love, and the wisdom that is located in you? No, and never. You can definitely get rid of anxiety, fear, frustration, insecurity, etc., etc., but you cannot get rid of peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. That is my real self. Ask the sugar when you want to be sweet all the time. How it is possible? Because it is my real self. It is always available within me, whether I see it or not, because I don't see. That's why we are learning. That is why we are learning the Eastern wisdom. When you want to be sweet, ask sugar. Come on, all the places at home, office, on the highway, when you want to be sweet. When I want to be happy, peaceful, in love, all the time, all places. You don't want to put it off. You see that? That very desire, that very aspiration in the mind proves that our essential nature, our real self is of the nature of peace and happiness. Am I clear? Under what condition you want the sweetness of sugar? Under what condition you want to be in peace, happiness, love, and wisdom? Come on, in all conditions. Don't ask me. Your intellect says this is a stupid question. In what condition? What do you mean? In all conditions. Means what? There is some urge inside from the real self indicating that peace is my essential nature, happiness is my essential nature, love is my essential nature, existence, what I am. That is what the real self is. If I am peace, then only I'm available in all conditions, at all places, at all time. Hence, peace is my essential nature. If I am happiness in all conditions, at all time, in all relations, at all the time, proves that happiness is my essential nature. Because of the confusion, delusion I carried forward by the mind, and I fall prey to the fear, insecurity, frustration, anxiety, anger, reaction, etc. I have to remove that by following the process of Viveka, learning the principles of Eastern wisdom, the time comes I'm awakened. Don't we experience the peace in sound sleep? We remember when we wake up and we say, that another proof that our nature is peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. Our false nature is anger, anxiety, delusion, confusion, etc. etc. Understanding. I'm bringing to you a different perspective because now you are a seeker. So when we self inquiry with thinking, that thinking is spatial by which we separate what I am and what I am not. That becomes the viveka. But that confusion is caused by the mixture. And that mixture is so subtle that we don't realize it. And our master gave an example of red hot iron ball. Is the iron ball red? No. Is the iron ball hot? No. But by nature, iron is cold. By nature, iron is black. Or whatever you say, you can color it, make it like a steel. But natural, what is real nature of the iron is. But when we see a red iron ball is red in color and hot. Why? It has borrowed the properties of the fire. It is secondary properties of the iron ball, which is not its nature. We also become red and hot in confusion. You see, we borrow the properties of the animal mind. We become impulsive, instinctive, hesitating. Clear? Let us move little deeper. So the red hot iron ball, we have a fire, we have an iron ball. We have a false nature, we have the real self. So that false nature is superimposed on my real nature. That's why I have an anxiety, duality, conflict, problem, fear, insecurity. What we are doing, we are filtering out and separating. How? By understanding, by thinking. Is anger, hesitation is your nature? Answer is no. From where it has come? It is superimposed by my false nature. The way, now see the other side of it. First is, I said red hot iron ball. The red and the heat is borrowed by the iron ball, which is superimposed or which is a superficial nature of the iron ball. Otherwise, it is cold and now see, can the fire have any shape? No, fire doesn't have a shape. Does the heat has any shape? No. Similarly, the real self does not have any shape in the size and the color. The real self is pure consciousness. Does the peace has any shape? Love has any shape? Happiness has any shape? No. It is a state. It is a consciousness. So fire also borrows the properties of an iron ball, as though. So the fire has a shape of an iron ball, and fire has a, see that. This is the mixture, this is the confusion and the delusion and the wrong notion we carry forward throughout our life. We are understanding the journey of life. So when we have that understanding, and we know how to filter in line with the principles of Eastern wisdom, we are left with what I am. I am pure consciousness, I am real self, I am peace, I am happiness, I am love, I am wisdom, I am existence. So once I realize and understand, I keep at bay what the mind says in confusion. Confusion is gone. That is the power of the viveka, doing this self. And just sit back, even for a few minutes, couple of times every day. Or you can continue, allow the intellect to be available all the time, at your home, at your office, huh? While cooking. Intellect can be made available all the time. When it is available all the time, you have a perception and experience that continuously separates what you are not, what is left is what you are. In the same example, we will continue with another, uh, we'll continue with this session of Viveka to make it clear so that your meditation becomes, you live in meditation from moment to moment when you apply this Viveka in your life. Just to give, throw an idea and understanding to you of hot iron, red hot iron ball. I'm moving my hand, speaking to you. Body is made up of all the chemicals, carbohydrate, protein. It is made up of food. Food contains all these elements, compounds, and mixtures. So body is inert, body is a matter, but still it is moving. It appears that I am the body, that fire, that real self. Body borrowed that properties of the fire, that is the real self, and it appears conscious to me. It is not conscious, hence I am not the body at all. And when you have that clarity of understanding that I am not the body, I am the real self, the confusion is gone. When the confusion is gone, you experience that sweetness is always there. Sweetness does not have any shape, but then it has the shape of an ice cream, it has the shape of a candy, it has shape of a dessert. The real self in you and me are same. So that real self, shape outside this one, shape there, that side. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. Let everyone be happy. Sarve santu niramaya. Let everyone be healthy. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Let everyone be blessed. Ma kaschid dukha bhag bhavet. Let none suffer from misery in this world. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let there be